All right, what is up, YouTube? This is CW from the GOATcast podcast, and this is, I believe, week three of the GOATcast or the GOAT debates, where we've been having different creators debate different topics. So today, got my man Big Hawk here. What's going on, Big Hawk?
How you doing, man?
So he's going to join up with us and debate myself on rings versus stats. Which one do we think are most important? And we're just going to give our side, and hopefully you guys will jump in here. We'll put up a poll afterwards and let us know who you thought won. How this is structured, this is a little different. This is more ideology. So we're going to have a 5 minute first round. I'll go, and then Big Hawk will go, and then we'll have a third round or second round, excuse me, which will be 10 minutes where we can go back and forth and plead our case. Now, so for this one, I'm going to start off with stats. I'll be defending stats. Big Hawk will be defending rings. So
So-
I will be doing the timer on my phone, so you'll probably hear it when it finishes up. But I'll try to. Matter of fact, let me pull up the graphic for the 1 minute time. Give me 1 second. Okay, so as you see, when it gets down to 1 minute, I will post up this little video to give you a chance to see how much time you have left. Hopefully, I'll be able to do it while I'm talking because it gets a little bit uh, hectic when you're in the debate, but we will make sure that that gets put up. So, with no further ado, I'll be starting, and then we will let Big Hawk come in and give his thoughts on rings.
yes, sir.
So let me start the timer. 5 minutes, and here we go. Okay, so I'm not defending that stats are more important than rings. I'm defending that stats and rings are just as important when you're breaking down an individual player and how great they are. So, what are statistics? Statistics are the measurement of what a player does on the court. So, how many points he gets, how many rebounds, and why they are important. Because if we're going to judge how great a player is, we have to know what they do on the court. We can't judge that by just rings because, as many say, rings are a team award, they're a team achievement. So, statistics tell everybody what this player does, how good they are, and why they are up for these different awards and accomplishments. Why is this guy the MVP? Why is this guy the defensive player of the year? Stats hold a lot of weight. Stats essentially show the player's value. Rings show their validation or validate that player. What I mean is your value is what you do individually on the court. The rings validate you as a great player. So those two go hand in hand. And I can use several examples. T Mac, would his career would he move above, say, Allen Iverson or someone of that caliber if he had won that championship in 2013 with the Spurs? He was sitting at the end of the bench. He was a non-factor, but he was known as one of the greats because of the stats he accomplished earlier in his career. So there's one. Robert Horry, 7-0 in finals. 7-0. He has 7 rings. Do we value his career more than we value, say, John Stockton or say Karl Malone? Because he has the rings, but you're talking about Karl Malone, one of the top scorers of all time. So stats matter. And I'm going to get into this further in the next round. But um, but as far as greatness, when you're measuring greatness, you have to, because if we just measured by stats, or
Mm.
rings, we'd already had the GOATs. They would have been from the 60s and early 70s. It would have been Bill Russell because he has the most rings, and would be Wilt Chamberlain because his stats were insane. So there would be nothing else to talk about. And I know that rings are pretty much the one measurement that has stood the test of time. Certain statistics weren't even measured during early years, and certain advanced stats and all that stuff didn't come until later. But um, but those are needed. Those now can tell you a better story of how great that player is. And another case, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. This shows you how great stats are. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and I believe 76, you can correct me if I'm wrong, won MVP with his team not even making it to the playoffs. So he wasn't even in he wasn't in the running to win a ring, but he was still the best player in the NBA at that time. So that tells you the how much statistics really matter. And that's all I got for round one. I still got a minute left, but I'm gonna drop it there.
Okay. Um.
So hold on real quick. Let me restart the timer,
Okay.
and then you can go. All right, go ahead.
I'm ready.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
All right, you're up.
Okay. Just off that last point, MVP doesn't always mean best player. We see that. We see Steve Nash win back to back. Uh, Duncan's award. We can argue Kevin Garnett, Kobe. You can even argue T Mac that year, I guess. Um, but to your earlier point, uh, stats are important, but they can be manipulated by great players, right? Um, if you want to look at a player, take Draymond. Draymond can give you 27, 10, and 5 in the playoffs. He can do that. But for his career, Draymond has averaged 14, 9, and 7. Well, no, his best year was 14, 9, and 7. That's what he averaged for that entire year. Would you rather have Draymond or Trey Young? Trey Young averaged 29, 4, and 9, right? Um, I'm taking the rings. Trey Young's had good years, but Trey Young has never been the guy to take over his team and get them deep into the playoffs. He doesn't do what his team needs. He's not the guy that's going to take over. He needs someone else like Stephanie's Draymond, right? Uh, would you rather be James Harden or Byron Scott? Byron Scott's best year, he averaged 21, 4, and 4. James Harden, his best year was 36, 6, and 7, right? Um, Stats can be manipulated. Yes, it's a team accomplishment, winning championships. However, I hate when people say that basketball is a team game. That's why you have stars. That's why you have people that get paid millions. Like for some reason, LeBron's getting 52 million this year, and they're not about to win. But if you take these players that get this money, you expect them to push their team to the finals. That's the reason they get paid like that. That's the reason that NFL quarterbacks get paid the money that they do because they have the biggest influence on the game. The reason that basketball's judged like that is because you have so much influence on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. So, I mean, yes, you can judge certain things when it comes to basketball by stats. That's not to know, but there's a bunch of things that you can do on the stat that don't show up on the stat sheet. When you put up 21, did you put up 21 in the first three quarters and then not do nothing in the fourth? Or did you go off in the fourth when your team was down 10 for 21 and win the game? But that's all I got for round one.
Okay, you left a couple of minutes on the board, but
Yeah,
okay.
yes.
So that's round one for Big Hawk. following my first round. So we are going to let me set the clock for 10 minutes, and now this will be we can go back and forth, but the purpose of it is to please your case. Why what you're defending is true. Um, so I'm about to let me know when you're ready. Give me a thumbs up, and we'll start it up. All right.
Hey, baby.
Okay. So I've heard your points. Stats can potentially be manipulated,
Yeah.
but let me ask you something. What part of David Robinson's career would you say was made him great? Was it his first years before 99 in the championship, 99 through 2003? Was that the time where David Robinson's greatness was built? Or was it during 99 through 2003 when he won championships?
No, it was before that
Okay. So, and why was that?
because of his impact.
Okay. And how
But
do you measure his impact?
some by stats, some by eye test.
Okay. Okay. So that's helping me prove my point that stats matter and his greatness came from those stats rather than those rings.
Yes and no. It's like you can't measure. Well, you can now because of advanced analytics, but early David Robinson altering shots. They're not measuring that. You measure block shots.
Hmm.
You don't measure his rebounds. You don't measure how you measure his rebounds. You don't measure how many times he's boxed someone out and let a smaller player get the rebound because that was the best thing to do. Put a body on Shaq, right?
Okay.
So it's what small things did you do to get your team over the hump, right? Eddie Jones was putting up 20 points, but he didn't do the small things and the things as a leader that Kobe did to get Shaq to the finals.
Okay. So,
Kobe averaged less points,
mhm.
but he got him there.
So are you trying to say hollow stats don't tell the whole story?
Pretty
Is that
much
okay? But why do rings matter more or just as much as stats? That's
because
what I'm
you
trying.
you you play the game to win. When you're a kid,
Absolutely.
you lose a game, you cry. You
Yeah.
play the game to win. It doesn't matter. Like when players that average 30 in high school, right? They get to
Hmm.
college, you can still put up 30, but does your game call for you to put up 30 or does it call for you to play defense and get putbacks? Does Dennis Rodman averaged a lot of points in college, but when he
Hmm.
got to the league, his role wasn't that. His role was defense and rebounding. That's what wins you rings. That's what tells you how great they are. Dennis Rodman didn't have great stats other than rebounds.
Okay.
His impact wasn't able to measure on the stat sheet. It's like Draymond. His impact
Okay.
isn't measured on the stat sheet. So I
Okay.
would
So are
take
you
Draymond over a statistician. But go ahead.
okay? So you're saying that what you do for your team to win championships is more important than say what Allen Iverson did for his team or what T Mac was doing for his team, what Dominique Wilkins in the 80s and early 90s was doing for his team. It's so you would take Robert Ory because he was, big shot Bob. He was doing things to help those teams win championships over, say, um, like you said earlier, Trey Young, who's doing things, but it's not impacting the winning. So you would take whoever's helping win those championships over guys that are just putting up heavy stats.
Am I going to take them? Necessarily, it depends on the team. Am I going to take
Mhm.
Robert Ory and being placed on the team? Like if you take Robert Ory off the Lakers and put Trey Young there, am I going to take him? Hell no. But
Okay.
am I going to take Robert Ory over James Harden in the playoffs? Yes. Yes, I will. Because
So
his intangibles are winning intangibles.
okay, so you're essentially saying that players' intangibles and their value to teams to win championships are more important than players that have great and gaudy stats.
Yes, because you can be a
Oh,
franchise player, put up great stats, but you never get the ultimate goal. What is the point of your entire game is to win the ultimate? They got players creating super teams and
mhm,
get championships. We know that championships matter. Now, I don't necessarily count all of them the same,
mhm,
especially like Kevin Durant. But you put up great stats, that's fine. But what did you do? What did you do to get this ring? You jumped on another team because you needed that ring. You was already putting up great stats. If the stats didn't matter, then you wouldn't have came here. You want to win. That's what you play the game for. The game is to win. Tim Duncan wasn't worried about putting up 30 and 20. He wasn't worried about none of that. He wanted to win. That's it.
okay,
The game is to win. Kobe's in '06. He put up 35. He put up 35 that year. The next
mhm,
year, he asked for a trade because they wouldn't give him any help. The game is to win.
I agree. So would you take so in this scenario, would you take John Stockton's career where he's accumulated the most assists, most steals, or would you take Brian Scalabrine, who's won a championship on a
You would say
Boston
Bryce
Celtics team?
Gallagher. Um, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I would take John Stockton.
Okay.
However, there is a portion of John Stockton's a great point guard. There is a portion of it that I look at and I'm like, well, you passed the Karl Malone, we had an automatic jumper. Some of those assists, yeah, you're a great point guard, but some of them assists, yeah, like it's like me throwing a lob to Wimby. All right, I got an assist, but goddamn. But
Okay.
but to go with that notion, yes, I'll take John Stockton over Brian Scalabrine. Brian Scalabrine didn't really do too much. But if I say, well, would I take Gary Payton or Patty Mills? Taking Patty Mills, even though Gary Payton got one, it was in garbage
Oh
time. He
wow.
didn't really contribute for it. I'm taking Patty. Patty contributed to winning. You lost. Gary Payton lost. He's a great player. He puts listen. His defensive impact is great. His even on offense, his impact was great. But what did you do when you faced Jordan?
Okay. So would you rather
Took
be
a
a
L.
top 70 would you ever rather be a top 75 player or a player with five rings?
I'm taking 5 rings.
So you're taking
You
five
what?
rings
Because
over.
it. The thing is, there's a lot of players who are in the league that could have put up great stats that would make them a top 75 player. Truthfully, Dame shouldn't be in the top 75, but he put up those stats. But if we really look at a lot of players that should be there, like Bernard King, I'm
Mhm.
taking him over. I'm taking him over Dame, right? But you put up stats, especially because of the era that you play in. But are you really contributing to winning? There's a lot of players that have won that should be top 75. Byron Scott should be a Hall of Famer.
I mean, I can't argue that, but so you're saying that rings and championships, I guess, overwrite statistical dominance or statistical greatness.
Within
So
context,
Wilt had never won
like
a.
I said,
Okay,
go ahead.
okay.
Like I like Wilt, right? I have Wilt in a special category, even though he was deemed as selfish, right? He didn't
Mhm,
have 4 other Hall of Famers on his team like Bill did.
mhm.
Bill's great. He has 11 rings, and he was a players coach or whatever, right? But would I necessarily take him over Wilt? I don't believe so. No. It's a
Okay.
toss up because I didn't I've seen some footage, but I didn't get to see their entire career, so I can only
Mhm.
go off of what I've seen. I don't think I'm taking Bill over Wilt,
Okay.
especially after they called him selfish and he decided that he was gonna lead an assist. No, I'm not. I'm not taking Bill over Wilt. He could do whatever he wanted to,
Okay.
but within context, yes.
Okay. So in that scenario, you would take Wilt over Bill. You would take his statistical dominance over the 11 rings.
Yes, because he still won 2 rings. It's not like he
Yeah.
didn't win at all. I'm not saying I'm taking uh James Harden over Jerry West. Hell no. That's that's
Okay.
that's not a competition at all. I'm taking Jerry West. But with if you look at the team that you have, like, they didn't have free agency, so they kept all their great players.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm this is me going against 5 great players. I'm putting up 50, but we're losing. I'm putting up 50 on great efficiency. I'm
That's
blocking
our
shots.
time.
I'm doing everything. Oh shit. Okay.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's our time. I forgot to put up the timer.
That's what I was waiting
Okay.
on.
Oh yeah, I wasn't even looking at my phone, so I was listening to what you're saying, and then the time just got away from me. But yeah, I thought that was a good debate. What you think?
It was good. I could have had some more points that I didn't think to write down. So I'm spitting off the top of my head. But yeah, that was
I
good.
was doing the same thing. I was coming in off the top for this one. But yeah, I mean, I thought it went well. Hopefully, those watching will let us know who they thought won. Did you think I did a better job of presenting stats, or did Big Hawk do a better job in presenting ring culture? He made some good points. I will say that. I will concede, and I'm really actually on the side of ring culture, but I just
I figured.
defended stats because I couldn't find nobody in that quick time to do that. So I had to take up the stats mantle. But I thought it went well. And hopefully you guys will listen and let us know who you thought won. I got a question. I know you're on the road a lot, but do you ever want to do like a podcast or a show or anything?
Yeah,
Be a part of a panel?
yeah.
Okay,
I
well, we'll
could pull
talk
over
after
for an
this.
hour, so whatever.
Yeah, okay, we'll talk after this because yeah, we're always looking for more content and more creators out there. So I would love to have you on the GoCast podcast channel if you want to do your thing.
Yes,
We'd
sir.
love to have you.
I appreciate you having me on here.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Anything you want to plug? I don't know if you have a channel.
I have a channel. I haven't uploaded anything on there yet, so
Okay,
we stay tuned.
okay,
I'll announce it later.
okay. So I will give me the link in our email string so I can put it in our description so you can we can get you out there. So make
Yes,
sure
sir.
to subscribe when Big Hawk gets his channel up. We're gonna definitely try to support him and what he's doing, and we're hopefully gonna get him on the show some, and he can come, spit some of these facts and some of this basketball knowledge with us.
Yes,
So,
sir.
anything further you have to say?
No, I kind of think I won, but we'll see.
Okay, okay. Well, we're definitely gonna
That
see.
was it.
I think I pleaded my case the best. So if there's anything you wanna finish off with, you can go ahead and do that since me and Big Nige did it back then. If there's any closing remarks you want to make on the debate, feel free right now.
Um, it's not too much. Like I said, Jordan, he has statistics in the championships, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everybody. I'm not gonna say everybody. The vast majority of people consider him the greatest, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you look at Charles Barkley had almost the same, but he's nowhere near in the GOAT conversation. The winning,
Mm-hmm.
the winning is in. That's it. That's the goal.
Okay. So, as I said, I think both of them are equally important. But I think if you're going to measure greatness, statistics have to be just as much in line. I would say meaningful stats, not just stats, because you can be on a bad team and average 50 points. But if you're a team that even is in playoff range and you're contributing at a high level with your statistics, then I think that's how we measure greatness. We can't just say, this guy's got rings. He contributed to a championship team. What did he do in that
I'm sorry if
regular
you said
season?
something. I couldn't hear you, man.
Oh, you couldn't hear me?
No,
Oh,
my whole thing went out.
Okay, okay. Well, I was bringing it home. I was saying, if you have a guy that does great in the finals, wins a ring, but his statistics throughout the 82 games isn't really that much, then can we really consider them great? That's all I had to say. But with that said, we're gonna end it here. And I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you want to join the GOAT debates, please leave a message in the comment section. That's how Big Hawk got on here. He said he was wanting to join in, and we brought him up.
Salute.
Um, so we're going to end here, and hope you guys will be back. Like and subscribe definitely, and we'll be back next week with more GOAT debates.